Welcome to Grownish Woman. I'm your host, Holly Teagarden. This is the podcast for women who are in the messy middle of midlife. Your kids are growing up, your hormones are doing whatever they want, and that quiet little voice is asking, okay, well, what do I want to be when I grow up? And it's getting louder by the day. We talk about the stuff everybody is going through, but nobody wants to talk about. We laugh at the chaos, we sit in the hard parts, and we do it all without judgment, because midlife does not come with a manual, but it does come with this podcast. Okay, today we're talking about something that so many of us are quietly panicking about in the mirror and not saying out loud. It's hair loss and hair thinning in our 40s and 50s. And I want to be really clear right off the bat. This is not just about aging. This is not something you have to quietly tolerate. There are reasons it's happening, and there is something you can do about it. I brought in two women I trust completely for this conversation. Missy Browning has been my hair stylist for over 20 years. She's the co-owner of Copacetic Hair Salon. And her client, also for 20 plus years, who's also become close friends with hers, Dr. Jen, a family practice doctor. So you're getting the salon chair perspective and the medical perspective back to back. And here's the thing. Both of them told me the same thing separately. Women come in every single day asking them about hair loss. Every day. So if you've been staring at your part in the mirror, wondering if you're the only one, you are so far from being alone. In this episode, Missy is going to reveal how she can spot hair loss in the first 30 seconds of a salon visit. The brittle texture, the break lines, all the tells most of us don't even know we're showing. She's going to explain why stylists are often the first line of defense for women who are too embarrassed to even bring it up. She's going to share real salon side fixes, blunt cuts, the right products, and when it's time to talk about toppers or wigs. Dr. Jen is going to get real about her own hair loss story, what triggered it, how she went from panic and trial and error to an actual plan. She's breaking down what's really going on medically with perimenopause, menopause, stress, medication, GLP weight loss drugs, protein and nutrient deficiencies, and when it's time to bring this to your primary care doctor. If you've been panic buying products online, avoiding the topic, or just wondering if anyone else get it, this one's for you. Let's get into it. I just want to say that we were talking before the show, and Dr. Jen and I have both seen Missy for over 20 years, which is, for me, my longest relationship. And at least for both
and of one us, of the best.
Of course. Yes. Yes. So I'm just like so excited to jump into this conversation with you both. I was saying that, you know, I'm in my 50s, but this is something that I guess didn't really know was an issue. When women are sitting down at your chair, are you seeing a lot of this with hair thinning or questions about it?
Every day. Every single day in some capacity.
Wow.
And it's been happening. And I think because my age range now is in that.
Okay.
So it's been happening, I'm going to say, for the last 5 to 7 years for me. You know, there's clients that are a few years older than I am. And now I'm getting clients that are a few years younger. They're just starting the whole process with menopause, perimenopause, add in GLP-1s on top of that.
Yeah.
And I am having this conversation at least once, if not almost every client, every day.
Wow.
Which is mind blowing.
I'm shocked. I know that you all have a hair loss section of your salon, but I had no idea it's that many people.
It's huge.
I guess, Dr. Jen, as we were saying, you are a client of Missy's. And was there a specific moment that you were like, okay, my hair is falling out. This is more than just my normal shedding. What was the big moment for you?
Yeah. So I am 47 now, and it was 4 years ago, a few months after my mom had passed. It was a stressful time. Took my kids to a concert, and I remember looking at a picture of us and thinking, where did all my hair grow? Compared to teenage hair, of course, but that was oh no. And then Missy and I talked about it and have been working on strategies since then. So
I mean, I guess I'll ask both of you. I mean, what is happening to the follicle when our hormone levels start to shift?
Yeah. So what happens, of course, in menopause is your estrogen drops.
Right.
And what that does is it shrinks the follicle And then it also like shortens the growth time for your follicle.
Okay.
And it also makes the actual hair thinner. Like the shaft of the hair is thinner, so it looks less dense. And that's all hormonal. Yep.
I had no idea that's what it meant. Thank you.
Yeah.
And isn't it also like some follicles just die?
Yeah,
So you may have
die and will not come back.
Right. So you may have, you know, somewhere between 150 to 400 hairs a day you lose in a normal cycle.
Wow.
And you hit a point and some of those follicles are just gone. And so you're not going through the growth, fall, and replacement of hair in general.
Wow.
Correct.
Okay. Miss, how can you tell the difference between just natural thinning versus something tied back to menopause or even stress? Like Dr. Chen, you were saying like your mom died and then all of a sudden
right. So
things started to happen.
am super lucky based on how you opened our podcast today. I am so personally entwined with the majority of my guests. So I am usually ahead of knowing where they're at. Now, when somebody comes in and I know it's stress related, the hair can be also very, very brittle.
Yeah.
So you like, as soon as I put my hands in, you both will notice, like you sit down and I immediately put my hands in your hair. And so that's my sort of tell to feel like if there is a difference or if I can tell if there's a difference. And I'm usually chatting about the kids, my dog, you know, something very like, you know, mundane while I'm doing I'm actually doing the assessment, my feel assessment before I'm even doing my verbal assessment.
Oh my gosh. I did not know that.
Yes. So I can usually tell right away the hair feels completely different. And then I can also feel like the density of the hair, if that has changed, if there's been a big loss. And a lot of times women, if we pull our hair back in the same space every day, I can find a break line in there as well, where there's been too much stress on the hair. So I will do that quick assessment in the first 30 seconds to a minute that you're sitting in my chair.
Have you ever approached someone and said, listen,
100%.
You have?
Absolutely. Like, tell me what's going on. And they'll say, oh my gosh, you can tell in my hair, can't you? And I'm like, absolutely. Run me through your diet, your meds. Have you had surgery? Because anesthesia can wreck the hair. And I can tell when somebody's had something happen before they've even said anything. And I'll say, have you in the last month been on steroids or used your inhaler a lot? I mean, the amount of times that I can detect a difference in the hair based on what's happened in the last 6 weeks.
It's usually about 8 weeks after that event that the hair starts coming out. Even with pregnancy, 8 weeks later, here goes your hair. Yeah.
Right. I do remember that. Remember that. But I guess I don't know. I'm kind of sitting here mind blown as you guys are talking. I mean, are women crying at your...
Oh my gosh, yes. 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 It's terrible. And I can be a very sympathy crier and immediately just start crying with you. Like, you haven't even told me what's the matter, but I'll cry too.
Well, because menopause, that's why.
Totally.
Right. We're all going through it. Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, I feel like maybe this is to you, Jen. I know that hair is really personal. Like, I feel our identity for a lot of us is tied into that. I mean, is it something that you feel, did you like hide it from your friends? Were you embarrassed? I'm just curious, when you started to realize something was happening, were you vocal about it or did you hide in shame?
I definitely did not bring it up with friends. Of course, talked with my husband about it and Missy, obviously, who I tell everything to.
Same.
All the time. If you can't trust your hairdresser, who can you trust?
You can trust no one.
No one. That's it. But yeah, it was not a topic of conversation with my friends, with my colleagues, with just anyone.
Wow. And you know what? I think I said this to you guys. You know, I found this idea on Threads and there were so many women saying that they have this issue and they're just embarrassed to talk about it.
For sure.
Yeah. Jen, you're a GP. Do you see people coming in and asking you about it?
Every single day. Yeah. And like Missy, I think that patients self-select like a female physician around my age.
Yeah.
And they're having the same problems that I am. And they feel comfortable talking about it with me. I think that's great. But yeah, every day, all the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Miss, do you think you're the first line? Do you think stylists are the first line of defense?
For sure.
Yeah. Because you're seeing somebody every 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. And so we have a great visual, and it's not a daily visual. There's enough weeks in between.
Yes.
And we are not embedded in everybody's day-to-day life.
Right.
So they can tell us a little more than they would tell possibly their best friend, because they don't want to be judged.
Yeah.
And like, I try very hard. Like, there is no judgment in my chair, in our salon. Like, your secret stays within that little like 4-foot square that I stand in.
Yeah.
So I do think, because we are not every day, it is very easy to talk to us about it. And then you can get up and walk away from me for 6 more weeks.
Right. But I do think you're right. So, Jed, I need to know, because how many things did you buy when you first realized you were going through this? Like, was it like, wee, I'm just throwing money with whatever thing I find on Amazon, TikTok?
Well, so the first thing that I did was go out and get biotin, started myself on biotin.
Yes.
But guess what, guys? There's no data to support biotin for hair
What?
growth. None. Don't buy it. Don't use it. It's a waste.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah. Like, that's the first thing everybody thinks of. And even as a doctor, that's where I went to, but it's not. It does nothing.
Wow.
Yep. So skip that. I got rosemary oil for my hair, and I smelled like an herb garden, but it didn't do anything to my hair. So that's where I went at first.
I smell like Italian sauce.
I mean, it's nice, but it's kind of a waste of money, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And then I went on prescription medicine.
Okay.
Yep. So prescription medicine wise, there are 2 that are commonly used to treat hair loss. Okay, so the medicine that I did try was spironolactone, which is an anti-androgen. And for me, it helped a little bit, but not a ton.
Okay.
And then the other prescription medicine is oral minoxidil.
Okay.
Which helps a lot of women, but I did not try it. And of course, there's topical minoxidil as well. Yep.
Is it somewhat of a trial and error? Because you're saying sometimes it helps people, sometimes it doesn't.
Correct. Yes.
What are the side effects? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah. So with both of those medication, you can sometimes have dizziness. You can have some problems with your potassium levels with the spironolactone. So definitely like follow up with your doctor if you're taking those medicines. Yeah.
You were saying that hair thinning is caused from our like estrogen levels. When, I mean, I know like I'm on HRT. If you're on HRT, did you see that helped? Like leveling out your hormones?
Sure. That would absolutely help.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. It would bring you back to the state you were before all hell broke loose, basically.
Before all the wheels fell off.
All the wheels fell off. Yes. All at once.
Okay. So we're like, biotin doesn't work. Like,
nope.
Miss, when somebody comes to you, what are the tricks of the trade?
So the 2 things I want to talk about that I can speak to, minoxidil was very like hard to come across. And then all of a sudden it's not hard to come across, and you can buy it on Amazon. And so I do feel like people lean into it more nowadays, but I also feel like it's so widely available that you have to really be careful about where you're getting it from. So I do caution people that, like, please don't try to be buying it on Amazon. Like, it used to be very hard. Like, we could only get it through Nioxin, which is one of the companies that we use. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. And then all of a sudden you can get it everywhere. So they just stopped manufacturing it. And they're like, meh, you can get it on Amazon, so we're not even going to bother.
Wow.
So the other thing that I want to talk about, which is really important, and I've really sort of spent some time trying to educate when it comes up, is scalp health.
Yeah.
Because everything, it comes out of your scalp. So if you are not treating your scalp well, you can't expect to have all this like wonderful growth of your hair.
So what does that mean? What does scalp? What does scalp health mean?
We use good cleansers, and we exfoliate and we moisturize our bodies from our foreheads down, and we throw terrible hair products on our heads, and are like, I don't know why it's bad. So it's weird. I mean, there are scalp exfoliators, the new head spas that are out, and I We don't offer that, but I understand why they're so beneficial because they do a scalp analysis. They really clean out the hair follicle and everything off your scalp that is like build up dead skin cells. I mean, it's so gross. Like if you think about it, it's terribly disgusting. And we have always promoted like you need to go a couple days between washing your hair. The buildup that happens there and not getting that off your scalp. So I really try to impress upon people how important that is. Using really good products, really making sure when you are scrubbing your hair, you are scrubbing your scalp. So you're actually giving your hair the best like canvas to grow in. And so because I am not medical, that is really all I can really be like,
Totally.
this is what I know can help. Now, if somebody says, what about XYZ, especially like with Jen saying the biotin, like you can try it, but I have heard it's not going to do anything for you. Like, don't waste your money. Well, if you're going to spend the money, go to a head spa.
Yeah.
Put it into products that I can recommend for you. Buy a better shampoo and conditioner that's really going to get your scalp clean every time you're shampooing. So that is where I try to educate as best as possible, is giving it the best place for your garden to grow.
I mean, what about cuts? Like, is there any styling treatments or color techniques?
You can, depending on what the hair type is and depending on what I'm working with, there is definitely like if people have had a big loss, you want to cut it off as short as they will allow you and one length.
Okay.
Because you want to give the appearance of having as much bulk to your hair as possible.
Okay.
So somebody who's like, I love layers, but I'm losing all my hair, they are going to look like they have 6 hairs on their head. So, and I say this, and I know I can't. I have bird feathers. So when I have any sort of hair loss, I'm like, oh, goody. I look like I've glued 6 hairs on my head. Excellent. So yes, there are definitely styles that you can talk to people about, but because we are so attached to our hair as women, that the thought of cutting any hair that we have off is terrifying. And that's usually the best thing for you is to take a couple inches off and blunt everything off, because then you have a solid like baseline for a haircut.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
That does make sense. Yep. I'm still like processing the whole scalp stuff.
Well, you know what?
Scalp health is wild.
I wanted to say medically, that really makes sense because like scalp massage, the places that you can go to are stimulating like extra blood flow.
Yes.
Blood flow.
Yeah. Totally.
And there you can even actually do like low light laser treatment to the scalp to promote growth. And that just has to do with your blood flow. So that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Dr. Jen, what about other, like, is there dietary things that you can change or different stress practices that you can change to help?
So Missy briefly brought up that, there's so many people that are on the GLP-1 agonist weight loss medications.
Right.
And you lose weight quickly and you don't want to eat a thing. And that will lead you in a big protein deficiency. So protein is super important.
Okay.
In general, and especially when you're losing weight, you should be aiming for 100 grams of protein a day. That's the goal. That's a lot. That's a lot. I know it's a lot. And so we are all underdosing our protein. So if you can find ways to improve that, that would definitely benefit your overall health and your hair health as well.
Yeah. And with that, just nutrients in general. Not like you're not hungry, you're not eating. So yes, Jen, for sure. It is the protein, but it's also the fruits and vegetables, especially the vegetables. Like our bodies are just in deficit when we're on those medications. When we're on the GLP-1s, everything is in such a deficit that the wheels are all falling off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can usually tell when somebody's on a GLP-1 before they even tell me they're on a GLP-1.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The weight loss starts and I can see it in their faces, and it's their hair. Like their hair, because they're not getting the nutrients, it's very dry and brittle again. Like back to the brittle. Wow. So as soon as I touch it, I'm like, there we are. And I'll wait for them to tell me, and then I'll start the whole conversation about all the things that, be careful with, A, B, and C.
Yeah. Dr. Jen, do you want to tell your story? Like how, I mean, you originally, you said that you noticed it. Like what is what has been the process for you or the journey?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think I've had a few things that have led to my hair issues. Stress was a big one. And then hitting perimenopause, the hormone drop. And then I've taken some medications. That's the other thing. Sometimes certain medications you take can cause hair loss. And so I think it was a combination of a lot. And I let it go for a while. And then Missy and I worked on a plan, and I ended up getting a halo hair piece to wear that is absolutely amazing. I would recommend it to anybody. Talk to your hairdresser. But there are options out there, actually. So that made me feel better that there was something to do about it.
That's interesting. I mean, I'm just like, Miss, I'm thinking about this. How do you start the conversation? If you know that this is happening and your client, which like Jen and I have been with you for, 20 years, how do you start the conversation, or how should the client start the conversation?
So we'll base this we'll pretend it's like a new person or a fairly new person.
Okay.
And so I will
Let's do
typically
that.
is there anything that you want to tell me about your hair?
Yeah.
Or is there anything that has happened that I need to know about? And usually that will open it up.
Yeah.
As they will be like, well, since you're asking, and then they'll tell me all the things. And that's when the tears start, because they haven't talked about it with anyone. And so I crack open that door a little bit for them. And then it's like somebody, they hug you. So you immediately start crying. And so then I am able to start with run me down your medical history, what's been happening in your life. So I can sort of determine where they're at. Wow. And we are super lucky, although we do not sell the halos that Jen got, but I knew about them enough to refer her to somebody that had them. We are now offering, because we are focusing on the hair loss for a multitude of reasons.
Right.
We have wigs and toppers, and we have 3 women who are able to really find and fit you for the perfect one, because there are so many different options out there when it comes to wigs and toppers that you just didn't even know. I had no idea. It is a whole part of the industry that is so wild and so huge. And I always joke, there is one topper out there, and I don't even know if it's considered a topper. It literally looks like a panty liner with hair that you clip onto your part. And so everyone's like, Missy. I was like, but that's what it looks like. It's a panty liner with hair. But it is so small and it is so tiny, and you clip it right on your part and it just cascades down the top of your hair. You would never know. And women buy them. When we took the class, women buy them because they're like, well, I'm really, really blonde and my natural color is dark. And so I put this on the last 2 weeks so you don't see my roots. It's not even for hair loss.
Yeah.
At that point, it's not even for hair loss. It's just to cover their roots. But there are such tiny things that you can do that we just don't know are out there, because people are not talking about it. And because hair loss and hair loss studios have been such a quiet, because it's typically associated with women who are in treatment.
Right.
And it is not that anymore. It is people who are in treatment, alopecia, now menopausal hair loss, all of it. It's crazy.
For the menopausal, premenopausal, post, all the pauses, does it eventually level off, the hair loss?
It does. I think that the biggest issue
you guys know, Missy she shook her head like no, and then she was like,
it does, but never to what you had prior to.
You don't return back, but it levels off, because the symptoms of menopause are due to the rapid decline in estrogen. It's that quick loss, so the hot flashes, the brain fog, all of that.
Right.
It settles out. I mean, you're still going to have some of that, but that, rapid change is what causes the symptoms.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it never comes back to the way it used to be. Your luscious locks.
You're never luscious ever again.
Oh.
I'm teasing.
Okay. No, we're just laughing. We're laughing the tears. No. Ladies, this is the last thing. For women who are listening and who are going through this right now, or have started to see it and have not said anything, what is one thing you want them to hear today?
I would say that if you have a primary care doctor that you trust, go to them and open up about it, because trust me, we hear it day in and day out. and we're a safe space and we can direct you the way that you need to go. Oftentimes that, we will try medications. We will refer to dermatology. There's different things that they can do. But you should open up to your primary care.
Yeah. Miss?
We are our own worst critics.
Yeah.
And really, honestly, women are not seeing it on other women because they're so focused on seeing it on ourselves.
Yeah.
We don't see it outside of our own bodies and faces.
Yeah.
But like Jen is saying, if you have a stylist you love, talk to them or find one.
Yeah.
That can help guide you. And it may not be any drastic changes, but that somebody that will be honest with you on these are the steps you need to take. We need to cut some hair or altering your color ever so slightly so it's not so see-through. Really finding somebody that you trust that you don't mind opening up to.
Wow. Thank you guys. I mean, honestly, this is great conversation. I feel like it's going to help a lot of other women just start to talk about it.
Thank you for having us.
It's amazing.
Okay, that is a wrap on today's episode of Grownish Woman. And honestly, I could have kept going. If something you heard today made you laugh, made you cry, or maybe made you text your best friend and say you have to listen to this, that's exactly why I created it. Do me a favor. If you're loving the show, please subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts and leave a review. It takes like 2 minutes and it really means the world to me. It also helps other women in the messy middle find us. And trust me, they need the community just as much as we do. Come find me on Instagram, Grownish Woman Podcast, and keep the conversation going because what we talk about here doesn't need to stop when the episode ends.